This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
Hey guys, Youmuus here, and today we have an interesting video. It's not going to be a gameplay video, but it's going to be going over this weird build, very weird build and rune page that can get you upwards of 116 flat magic penetration. Unlike the lethality items, magic pen could actually stack if you just buy a bunch of boots and one Leandries. And let's take a look at our rune page. It's going to be pretty silly. I wasted a lot of IP doing this, but we have 20 magic pen in our runes and 9 armor seals because these don't come in magic pen. Masteries, all we need is this. Everything else really doesn't matter. I guess you can get double-edged sword to do a little bit more damage. But yeah, we're going to be going over a few champions that can make use of this build and, you know, just be having some fun with it, you know? Alright guys, first one up here is Brand. The first character that came into mind for me when I thought of high base damage and low scalings was Brand. As you guys know, let's take a look at Brand's scalings here. Brand has very low scalings at 55%, 60%, 35%, and it goes up to like 75% on ult, but those are still really, really bad. And the only thing that really buffs that up is magic penetration, because that amplifies that makes us do as close to base damage as possible. So we're going to buy the build here. As you can see, the build is under 10,000 gold actually. So we're only level 3 on Brand here, right? But since Brand does percent damage, he can do something like this. And a level 3 Brand can hit for 1500 damage just because we have so much true damage on us. Not true damage. Well, basically we are doing true damage because if you look at our magic pen here, we have 112 magic pen while the dummy still has 100 MR. So we do true damage here. So if we look at the E here, it does about 100 damage. It is going to do 100 damage. The ticks there are from Leandries, of course. And when we level our character up, all the way up to 18, just put points into all our spells here. Okay, put this back. As you can see, our passive does 18% true damage about now, almost 17%, 18. So we're doing another combo. And there you go, 1800 damage. That's the main gimmick of this build, but there's some champions that do abuse it well. Next one up. Alright guys, next champion up is Tahm Kench. If you guys look on Tahm Kench's bite, at rank 5, it does 32% of their enemy's maximum health as magic damage. And when we're doing true damage, because we have all this magic pen, we're basically doing 30% of the enemy's health as true damage there, basically. It doesn't show up as true damage. Let me turn off tower here. It doesn't show up as true damage, but it's basically true damage. Let me do it again here. Since it has no magic penetration, since they have no MR, we fully penetrate all their MR and do 3,400 damage. And I can kind of imagine this kind of working out top lane since this build is so cheap, or maybe working out in support. Like you go support Tahm Kench, and then you go like fight top and bite the top laner for literally 32% of his health. So yeah, next one up here is pretty interesting. It's going to be Warwick. Warwick has a heal component to it. His Q not only is percent damage, but it also heals based on damage it deals. So we're going to bite here. As you can see, it heals for a lot, because even though we do not have any AP in it, it heals for all the damage, 70% of the damage it deals, and it deals percent damage. So we keep biting this guy here. As you can see, we heal a lot every Q. Alright, enough with the percent damage champs. Let's look at champs that have high base flat damage. And one of them is Fiddlesticks. His ult at rank 3 with only 25 AP does upwards of 1700 damage. So we're going to go in here. And since we're basically doing true damage, we know it's going to do 1700 damage. So there you go. Next one up with the high base damages is Rumble. His ultimate does insane amounts of base damage, and it's fired from a pretty long range. Rumble usually builds Leandries and Sork shoes already, but if the enemy has extra MR, you can always just stack on a few shoes. Here's an interesting sustained damage one. It is Aurelion Soul. Aurelion Soul stars actually do a lot of base damage, so if you have this build, you can actually kill most champions in a few star hits. Like, as you can see here, I do about 260 per star hit, and an 80 carry late game barely has like 2,000 health. So, like 7 to 8 of these hits will kill them, and your build is extremely cheap. This is a rather scary one here, and it's Annie. As you guys know, Annie can already one-shot most champions, and now she can do pretty decent damage to tanks with just their base damage. As in there, I'm gonna stun it, and Tibbers does a bunch of damage. I'm moving him away here, and each time you stun, as you guys know, Tibbers goes crazy. And we can see him doing basically full auto true damage. This is probably one of the most viable ones, and it is Mundo. Mundo's cleaver does 25% of the target's current health. And as you can see here, this has 10,000 health, so this will do 2,500 damage. 2,600 damage because of our masteries, but this is insane. Like, just look at this. Like, we can do this much damage every like 4 seconds to the enemy tanks just because they don't have enough MR for us. And if we walk a little bit closer, we can turn on our W, and that does a good bit of damage as well. And not to mention, Mundo can just run around in general and just be doing crazy shit like this all the time. Malzahar is another perfect candidate for this build. His Q and E both have insane amounts of base damage, as you can see here. This one does. The combo of them does about like 600 damage in total, and his R has both high base damage and percent damage. So look at all of that. That's a lot of damage for only having a bunch of boots. Alright guys, another kind of silly one here is Gnar. Gnar's W actually does 14% of the enemy's health in percent damage. And it basically becomes true damage with us because we have full magic penetration. And we swap one item out, say we swap this mask out for some attack speed like this. Now look what happens. Look how fast we melt this guy. So there's 1, 2 pops, 3 pops, 4 pops, 5 pops. There you go, 5 pops, we do 10,000 damage because we're basically doing true damage with our W. Next one up in the same boat as Gnar is Kog'Maw. His W will 100% do 7% of the enemy's max health, and that means you'll kill any enemy in 15 shots or so. And see, it does a lot of damage per shot. And that's a lot of tank shredding damage for having such a cheap build. And then since Kog'Maw's Q actually reduces the armor, enemy's magic resist, you can do this up to an enemy with 150 MR. But if the enemy has lower MR, you can say sell 2 boots like what I'm going to do now. Buy 2 Nashers and watch the DPS. Look at this. I'm doing 900 damage a shot. 10 shots kills the enemy there. Pretty simple stuff. Now, do you guys want to see some madness? Alright, check this out right here. Oh, look at that. Now, that's pretty insane, too. Kind of getting a little bit off track here, but let's try out this build where we can do 1,500 damage a shot. And then if we keep shooting... let's keep shooting, alright. Summon another one. Keep shooting. Wait till our... Oh, nope, turn on tower. Wait till our W's back on. Hit this. Look at that. Holy shit, we killed that dummy in literally like 1 second with this build. Alright, and I swear, this is gonna be my last clip of Kog'Maw, alright? But look at this. Isn't that nuts? Oh my god, I love Kog'Maw. Last one up here, another champion with bad scaling. It is Karthus. So now Karthus' abilities will now do true damage, basically, which is nice. And also, you ever play Karthus and you try to snipe out an enemy with your ult, and they're like, you just don't know if it's gonna kill them. Now you can just have assured accuracy. This says it does 565 damage. It will at least do 565 damage, since you're doing true damage there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this interesting little video. I thought it was pretty cool that you can actually stack flat magic penetration like that. It might be good in certain matchups, but I know the full 5 boots and the mask isn't probably good. But you know, some matchups maybe you get another boot in there if they get a quick tech option for you, or they pick up some early MR, so you can just cancel it out, and it might be too awkward for them to build more MR for you. But yeah, that's it for this video. It's YoumuusYT signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed and found it interesting, and I'll see you guys later.